great afterwards. Like, you feel good for a
Mm.
while, but then it's like, what the fuck now? Like, what?
Yeah.
And now what? You know what I mean? Like, cool. So we fucked the earth up. Now what? Now what do I fucking do? Just go back to my life then, shall I? And just like carry on as normal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it felt like for a minute. But then again, like I said, it's about if you've got that faith that there is more and that there is something higher that you want to work towards, then it's like a slow unraveling. Like, you just realize, or I just realized anyway, I don't know about other people, but like 2 years later, wow, shit, I'm actually somewhere really, really different. And I'm going
Yeah.
to continue to go down this path because it looks a lot better than where I was before, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not about perfection. It's not about waking up tomorrow and doing the breath work and the meditation and eating raw vegan and doing all this. Like, it's just literally about moving deeper into alignment with things that serve us. So it can be anything from like disconnecting from relationships that no longer really serve us to, yeah, changing our eating habits, or like actually getting out of bed. It's basically making yourself uncomfortable. That's what I've found.
Mm.
Growth happens when you're uncomfortable, but none of us want to be an uncomfortability because we're all stuck in comfortable uncomfortability. But it's like,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
where the magic is, on the other side of the, you know, on the other side of the
Yeah.
uncomfortability.
Mm.
Like, you've got to get up at 5:30 a.m. And in that second of like, oh, but I want to go back to sleep, you have to have enough self-discipline to be mind over matter and be like, no, because I fucking want this for myself. I want to wake up and see the sun. And then, 2 minutes after getting out of bed and you've started your asana practice, like, you feel amazing about yourself because you've done it again. And it's just moment by moment, like day by day, just
Mm.
trying to make those choices that like really, really align your mind, your body, and your soul. Like,
Yeah.
being active, being mentally, disciplined enough to like go for the things that you want, and like have the discipline to like abstain from the things that don't serve us really.
Mm.
Mm.
And how did you work out what it was that wasn't serving you? Were they all obvious things, or was it after deeper inspection that you had to step away from certain things?
You know what? I reckon that they're all really, really obvious to all of us, but
Yeah.
sometimes we're just too close to see it. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Like, we're
Yeah.
just too close to even see it. We're too in it to even realize. But it's all the shit that we all know. It's
Yeah.
like the internet. It's not that great for us. We were never designed to absorb that much information at
Mm.
once, and it's meant to keep you in fear and just, bemused and just like overwhelmed ultimately. Because if we're overwhelmed, we're never looking for a solution.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in nature and you're just doing the work and you just are more present, and hey, there we go.
Awesome. Yeah, it was literally just as you started talking about the internet was like, fuck this. I'm not having anyone slag me off.
I know, honestly, you know what? It sounds stupid to some people, I'm sure, but the synchronicity here, when you get the
Yeah,
coincidence and
yeah,
double
yeah.
numbers and it's like off the chain. It's just every other
Really?
minute you talk about something and then they walk in the room, or it happens, or someone texts, or it does. The internet will cut. Yeah, it's hilarious. Like, it's really hilarious. But I think, again, it's like because we're more moment to moment. We're just in it,
Mm.
you're just in it and you're in the flow of it, and you can see them more.
You must be hyper connected at the moment. There's so few. I mean, there's loads to do, obviously, and I'm keen to talk about what you're actually doing on the land in a minute. But there's so few distractions in terms of putting the TV on and numbing your brain, and going on your phone and numbing your brain, and distracting yourself with this, that, and the other. Like, you're living moment to moment, and you're kind of back to basics, like back to survival mode. So you must be hyper connected to your intuition, to nature, to spirituality, everything.
Yeah, I think you're right. I really do. And there's a lot to it. I think I got to the point where, like you say, these things aren't good for us. We know we've got these innate abilities to be super duper magic ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
but we do have all these millions of distractions. So it really has taken me going, fuck this. I'm going to remove myself from it.
Yeah.
Because I know how tempting it is to just, like, if you're in a cafe and they've got internet, just jump on and then scroll through Instagram for an hour. But like,
Yeah.
it doesn't serve me. I know it
Mm.
doesn't serve anyone. So it's like,
Yeah.
I really allow time for what I know serves me now. And it's
Yeah.
funny because those moments of stillness where you are just like in the garden doing the thing, or just like you say in your practice, or in just in your breathing and in yourself and here. Those moments are where the realizations happen, of where those little upgrades happen, I think, where you have the little, oh, maybe I should not do that anymore. Oh, I don't know if that actually works for me, or like maybe I could try doing this tomorrow, or like maybe we could, it's just these small realignments that make such a huge difference in the grand scheme of things. These daily little realignments.
I love that the idea that it's a little upgrade. It's almost like a little reminder that you need an upgrade, and then you put yourself on charge, and then you get it, and then you have clearer vision of what you need to do next.
That's exactly it for me, babe.
Yeah,
that is exactly it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like
so nice.
we know as humans we have this ability to like level up, whereas animals don't. Like we have the ability to expand our knowledge, expand our consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Like, you look at guys like Wim Hof, and we have ways to produce, these blood cells within our body, and literally like in ways that modern science says that we shouldn't be able to like heal ourselves, we can. It's literally mind over matter. You can take a sugar pill, tell yourself it's going to heal your body, and it'll fucking heal your body. That to me is like the most insane piece of information that we have as humans. The fact that the placebo effect is a scientifically proven method where you can say to yourself, I am this, I am, and you will be. So it's like, holy shit, how much do you want to play with that then? How much do we want to play with that as individuals and as a collective? Because we can basically just imagine all this shit right again if we want to. And that's why I'm here. It's like, okay, you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. It does. It's like everything's sort of vice versa. You change yourself, then you can offer that outwardly. Like I learn the knowledge, then I can offer the knowledge outwardly. So it's like you cannot fix everything external, but you can fix your own shit. And by doing that, you just elevate into a whole different frequency, and you're somewhere else, surrounded by other people that are also somewhere else, and you're all there together, and it's fun.
Yeah, I think the capabilities we have as humans are, I mean, it's unbelievable. But as you said earlier, people are so buried in layers of conditioning that to someone who has no concept of this, telling them that they could heal themselves, they'd think you were absolutely bonkers. But everyone's got it. Everyone's got the potential, but you have to do the work to get the layers off you before you can really believe that, and you have to believe it for it to happen.
That's exactly it. It's just self-limiting belief ultimately. Like we have been suppressed since we opened our eyes as babies. It's like we've been told we're not enough, or we're not this, or we're not that, or be fatter, be thinner, be a different color, be fucking anything, like literally be whatever you are, don't be it. Be the opposite of it, and then you'll be happy. Like that's what we've been given, when really like whatever you want to be, you literally create yourself. Like we know that the people we surround ourselves by and the environments we surround ourselves with shape us as human beings. So it's like, why the fuck not choose environments that are inspiring and uplifting and like nurturing to your growth, whatever that may be. It's just like, it was inevitable for me at this point. It was like, this is the only thing that's left to do, that's left to try, is just doing it for my fucking self ultimately. Like really being the selfish Capricorn and just going, you know what, I'm just going to do this because it's literally what I want. And then everybody else goes, fuck, that looks really, really good. And you're like, you know what, actually it feels really, really good. Funny that like just going back to nature feels really good.
And talking of going back to the land, like what is the ultimate goal? Like what are you building every day? What's going to be the plan long term?
The how is not important. We just have to focus on the why, and then the rest comes. And it's the same with everything. It's like if you focus on the why you're doing something, then the rest just flows. You just got to have faith. But basically our intention is to build a living and learning center for like natural building, natural medicine, and permaculture. So we have a bunch of like international teachers and guests who we've sort of just made connections with over the years, just through the sort of circles that we move in and the shit that we're interested in.
Yeah.
We have people who are like, you know, yoga, meditation teachers of natural medicine and homeopathy, and like teachers of ultimately like permaculture, and you can give us like introductions to permaculture and stuff like this. So we hope to host workshops on the land and have it as sort of a place where people can come and stay and learn and absorb and then take the knowledge with them. We want to be able to offer that knowledge for free to all the local community and all the people who need it the most here. And I'm assuming we'll be charging, like, who knows if we'll be using money, because let's just see how the next few months pan out. Figuring out some kind of exchange where people come and exchange either their time and energy for like the knowledge that they gain or whatever. But it's all about trade really, and it's just about an energy exchange. It's like, we want to be able, what's the point in all this knowledge if we can't share it? You know, like, what's the point in having all of this knowledge scattered everywhere if we can't just like put it all into one place? And there's so many people doing this in like different places in the world, and they've already, you know, smashed it, and they've already got like beautiful self-sustaining permaculture farms running all over the world. So it's just about, and the other good thing is everybody who's kind of in this I'd say business, but it's not even business, everybody who's in this way of life, who's like sort of assigned to this way of living, they just want to share, and you just want to share the knowledge, because it's not about individual gain. It's about doing it for like yourselves and the environment and everyone around you, and just for like the livelihood of everybody that you love, and for your own, like, you know, your own livelihood. So it's like, it's not about, you know, well, oh, what are you going to give me for this knowledge then if I teach you how to grow these pumpkins? It's like, no, we just want each other to thrive. So it's really, really easy.
That's amazing.
It's it's that build it and they will come type of thing, isn't it?
That's exactly it, mate. Yes, that is exactly it. I mean, there's like these communities that exist already, and they don't have need for a monetary system anymore. So like, imagine that. There's like communities of hundreds of people already. I think there's one called Auroville, and there's a few all over the world now. But yeah, don't need money. They all produce whatever they need within the community, and then, you know, they share what they have. And when you share, you know, you always have enough. It's like the Jesus thing, right? When you're giving the fish and the bread out, it like never runs out. It's like truth to all these stories, you know. That's what I realize. It's like they're all based in something.
They've all got sort of takeaway messages to all of the religious stories haven't they? There's some sort of takeaway message, regardless of whether.
Yeah, it's just the what's the word? It's the outlook of an outlook of scarcity. You know what I mean? When people have like an outlook of scarcity, and they're like, oh, well, we don't have enough, then like you never have enough. But when you have an outlook of like, we have everything that we need, it is mad. It is mad how what shows up. It's the same with me. Like, literally, I'll be like, oh, wish we had some bananas. And then, you know, 2 days later, oh, look at that, the banana tree's ready. You just have to trust, like, when you have, I must admit, when you believe that you have enough, it's like, you just trust that you have enough, it comes.
And that scarcity mindset is particularly rearing its ugly head in the UK at the moment, or had been in the last few weeks, when, you know, you'd go to Sainsbury's or whatever, and everything's just, people are acting from a place of fear and just wiping out, you know, essential foods, and bog roll even.
Fucking
that was
fighting
the
over toilet paper, and it brought out a really ugly side in
you know,
people.
we don't even use toilet roll here. It's insane. You know, we don't use toilet roll here. We don't do that. We don't do it. Like,
what do you do? Have a little
the last time I did
little hose down afterwards.
You have to pick your favourite hand, babe. You pick one for eating, and then you pick one for the other thing, and then you just fucking praise jar.
Oh my
It's so
God.
funny. It's like, okay, we're having an international pandemic and people have forgotten how to wipe their fucking asses all of a sudden.
Yeah.
What surprises me is it's like we have like enough. Most people, I think, most people in the UK who are sort of like, middle class, whatever, doing all right. I'd say the
Yeah.
majority of people have enough room in either their home or in like some, excuse of a garden to
Mhm.
grow enough food to feed your family. It
Yeah.
is insane how much, like, how little space you really need in order to like produce your own food.
Yeah.
And ultimately, when you're feeding yourself and when you feed yourself, like, you don't really need that much money. Like, you really don't.
Yeah.
It gets really weird. It's like, wow, shit, we've just had all of our independence taken away from us in order to like generate energy for
Yeah.
a 1%. It's just
Yeah.
like it's really fucked.
Yeah. And
And then we
we're
all like
so.
are stuck in this system where we're like, no, this is good, this works for us, it's fine because I'm gonna get this check now. Like, everyone's getting these checks, we're gonna get a check for their unemployment or the whatever else, and people are happy just to go, yeah, you know what, like, just give me my check and I'll shut the fuck up. And I'm like, no, like, please utilize this time if you're smart to
Yeah.
just take that power out of someone else's hands and
Yeah.
take it back into your own hands, just as a human being, as
Yeah.
someone who wants independence and as someone who like doesn't want their life controlled ultimately by like an external source,
Yeah.
like whether the shop's open or not, or whether this, or whether there's a bog roll in the fucking supermarket. It's like we have to learn how to wipe our own asses again as humans, because we've
Yeah.
totally forgotten. And
Yeah.
it's really not that hard. Like, I met a Nepali girl here, and
Mm.
she is so fucking inspiring to me. She's younger than me.
Mhm.
She's maybe like 24 or something like this now, and she is such a powerhouse of a girl. She's
Yeah.
like been solo trekking for 3 years when she was like 19, 20.
Wow.
She just built her own tattoo studio, built her own business. She travels, she does whatever, and she didn't need the internet or like anything in order to do that. She just needed herself and her own fucking mind and her own like willingness to to be
Yeah.
that strong woman, and to like just to drive. Ultimately, it's like self-discipline and it's drive. And people, when you get out in the world and you meet people from different cultures that have had life serve them up a very different experience, you see how resilient we truly are as humans, and like
Yeah.
get more out of the individual like victim mentality that we often all get stuck in.
Yeah.
There was that idea around universal basic income, wasn't there? And that governments, I think it was trialed in maybe Canada or something, but
Yeah.
exactly like you said, people are then reliant on the state and overly reliant on the state, and therefore they're ultimately easier to be controlled in a way.
Completely. Like, it's no, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, we all thought that David Icke was like a little bit crazy for a while, but like, let's really look at the facts now. Like, let's just like call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? There's like 1% of the world owns 99% of the wealth.
Yeah.
There's 6 companies in the world that control all of the information that the world receives. Like, of course we're being fucking controlled. Of course we're being suppressed. We know that, they told us smoking was good for us. Tobacco. They told us, sugar's fine. They told us all this other shit. And like, we know that we are being completely suppressed on like an emotional, on a physical, and on like a metaphysical level now. It's like beyond a shadow of a doubt that the shit that they say is that they know is bad for us, they continue to give to us for profit. Why? Why would you want to suppress people like that? Because we don't need anything outside of ourselves, and there's no control if we can all just look after ourselves.
Yeah.
No need for it, But yeah, at this point, it's like there's going to be 2 options provided to us, I think, as a result of this entire situation. And it's going to be like the easy option and the hard option. And I mean that by like seemingly easy and seemingly hard. And it's going to be the wolf in sheep's clothing, because if you take the easy option and you just take the fucking money and you just go, this is fine, and I don't mind being, being enslaved in a system like this, even when the facts are this in front of me, then you're going to suffer long term. But if we just sort of suck it up at this point and say, okay, I don't need to be self-sustainable by tomorrow, but I know that the world's changing, and it's been changing for a minute now. So we have to start taking steps towards getting out of this system. Grow some fucking veggies in your kitchen. You can literally grow almost any vegetable from a cutting of that vegetable. So just use your food scraps. You know what I mean? You can grow carrots from your scraps of food. Like, it's just like so easy to do so many different things. So just start experimenting. It's meant to be fun. You know what I mean? Like the real magic is doing the work and calling it play. You know what I mean? Like when I'm dancing around the fucking garden pulling carrots out of the floor, don't feel like work. It really, really doesn't. I've got to admit it. Like, it feels like play, and it's so much fun to like put your love into that soil and to be nourished and sustained by that and to need nothing else. It's so satisfying. So I think we've got an opportunity now to really see things clearly. Or as clearly as we're going to see them, you know, for a minute. We're seeing them clearer right now than we ever have. So take advantage of the situation and start making small changes, I think, unless you want to be stuck in uncomfortable comfortability forever.
I think you're so right.
Or just before they do something worse, and then there's like, you know, then they say, okay, well, you can have this income, but then you have to have our new vaccine if you want this thing. There'll be another layer to it, right? There's always layers to the onion. It's just like, step away from the onion. You know what I mean?
That's going to be the ultimate quote of this.
Step away from the onion. It fucking stinks, you know what I mean?
It's so hard in, like you said, you have to remove yourself from a situation completely. It's so hard being in the West sometimes and having these like little glimpses of realizations and being like, fuck, this is so weird what we're doing. And Layla and I have these conversations quite often where we're like, what the fuck is going on, kind of thing, just even before all of this kicked off, just on a day-to-day basis.
You know, so many people have mental health problems. Like, so many people have mental health problems. I've had, like, you know, mental health problems, if you want to sort of give it a typical diagnosis. But like, is there any fucking wonder? We're living in such unnatural ways, and like I said, the system is designed to suppress us. It is designed to make us feel this way. And for me, it's like, I've always been into music. I've always been into the alternative scene. And what's the most punk thing you can fucking do in this day and age, you know? And to me, it's this. It's turning around and just taking full responsibility for myself and for my life and for whatever I want to create, and taking the power out of something external and just saying, fuck this. I think it's really punk. I do. I think what we're doing as a community is like super duper fucking punk, and I love that. I love that about it, because it's like something about it that really like makes 13, 15-year-old me feel good.
That's amazing. Do you ever have moments of fear?
Stay true, you know what I mean? Let me stay true deep down, guys.
Do you ever have moments of fear where you're sitting alone in your beautiful little hut in the jungle and at night, and you just think, oh my God, that I'm in over my head? Or do you feel supported the whole time and feel like you're in control the whole time? Because of the way we've been conditioned, there's bound to be little things that niggle from time to time where you think, oh my God, I'm so far out of the system now. Does that ever create any panic, or do you just feel like this is 100% right? Is there ever doubt?
I can promise you that there's not been one moment since I moved here where I've thought, oh my God, did I do the right thing? I can promise that. And I don't know what it is, but I've never felt more secure. And you know what? There's been a lot of nights where I've cried. A lot in my cabin, but like from happiness, just from going, holy shit, where am I and how did I manifest this? But this is what I dreamt of when I was a kid. You know, it's like, what do we dream of when we're kids? It's like building the little dreamland and building the little home and building the nest, right? We're just fucking animals ultimately. And it's like, we want to nest, we want to exchange love, and we just want to be happy. And we just, once we've got, you know, enough food and enough water, then all we need is like, is love. And it's just like the most cliche thing in the world. But like up in my little cabin, up in the jungle, there is, I leave my cabin unlocked, mate. I leave my cabin unlocked and I walk into town. And I'm like maybe an hour and a half walk away and then go back, and you know what I mean? I never think about anyone nicking anything or doing anything like that, because it's not really like that. You know what I mean? It's not really like that. What, they're going to run off of my flat screen? You know what I mean? Like, they're going to come and they're going to steal herbal toothpaste. Like, what's going to happen? No, it's like, it's really a different feeling.
Yeah.
To be like held by the nature like that. And yeah, you don't feel any fear. I haven't felt fear anyway, not like that, like not at all.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so
How we are,
inspiring.
I think it's really how we are, like really comfortable deep down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, babe, that went a bit robot then.
Oh, that's all right. It's so inspiring to hear you talking.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
honestly, I feel so proud of you. I think when I think about the last time I saw you and how different things are for you, and you've done it all yourself. Like you haven't been given anything. You've done all of this yourself, and it's absolutely like amazing.
Yeah,
I'm
it
so
is.
proud of you.
Thank you so much. You make me cry, girl, again. No. No, it's beautiful. It is. It's super different. It's a super different place to be, and I'm eternally grateful for it. And all I want now is for like everybody that I love to come. My mum comes later in the year, and
Amazing.
I've told her not to book a return flight.
Oh my
I
God,
was just
amazing.
like, don't
That's
bother,
class.
and let's figure it out when you get here. You know what I mean? Like, there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's always a way. That's what I realise.
Yeah.
Resistance furthers, perseverance furthers. That's it. Perseverance furthers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want my mum and all my nearest and dearest to be here now, and like everyone that I love to come and see it.
Yeah.
Just so that they know that it's like an option always. You know, it's like even if it's not here and now with me, it's like you can do this if it so fuels your soul. If this feels good, you know, just know that it's like the nature is always waiting for us. She's not going anywhere. She's just sat there waiting for us all to return to her. And it's like, I feel like the quicker we start, like I said, making those tiny steps and realignments on a daily basis, then the easier it's going to be. Like the easier it's going to be, the more willing and open you are to that transition. And it is really for the greater good, for our own greater good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've got chills. I'm going to come and see you now.
Oh, guys, come and see me. Come and see me. Let me host the shit out of you, honestly.
Oh, I'd love that so much. When this is all over, I think we should go.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, lush.
Well, let's do it, guys.
That brings us to quite a natural end of the podcast, I think. It's kind of started and ended on love. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And love you guys. I really, really do. Thank you so much for chatting shit with me. Beautiful shit.
What? Which hand are you going to use?
So that was our chat with the inspirational and kind-hearted Hannah Pixie Snowden.
We took a lot away from it, didn't we?
Yeah, we took loads away from it, and thank you for queuing up the next little segment of discussion about what I like to do a little bit at the end with what I learned, because I think there's something to be learned from every single person you speak to. I think one of the things for me that stood out was about making small realignments, and I think one thing Hannah said, which is paramount to making any sustainable changes, is about not trying to do too much at once and just making like tiny little incremental alignment shifts, as she put it, that will eventually add up to what will be like a huge change. Like 2 years on, you look back and you think, shit, like that it started as a small change without doing what I normally do and try and do too much at once and go
crash and burn.
Yeah. And then I think, how the fuck did this happen, sort of thing.
Yeah. She well, you would have heard in the episode, I was just about to tell you what she talks about. But when she says about getting the things out of your life that don't serve you, that doesn't have to be all done at once. That can be small changes taken over time, and that's probably the most realistic and the most effective way to do anything, is in moderation, which obviously is something that Reese really struggles with.
Yeah, very all or nothing type of guy, you know. And that's an interesting point on the letting go of what doesn't serve you. And I think it's one of those things where you can hold on to things unknowingly for too long. And then once you become aware of it, that you're doing that, you're like, fuck, like
I don't like this, or I don't like this part of me, or whatever.
I really need to try and work on. Hannah said about it being a slow unraveling process as well.
Yeah. I think I just took away from it that she's such a free spirit. She is just a free bird. She cannot have her wings clipped, and that is something that really resonates with me. But I'm not brave enough to do what she's done, and I think I've got no shame in saying that, because that is where I'm at the moment. It doesn't mean that I won't be there in 10 years' time, but we're all on different journeys, and her journey is a rapid one. She's lived so much. She's 26, 25, 26. Sozhan, can't remember. One of those. And she has lived more than most people will in their ever in their lifetimes, just because she's brave. She's brave enough to do the things that she wants and she goes for. And I just think like that I find really inspiring, where I've done a few things where that perhaps other people wouldn't have done out of fear, but nothing on that scale. And that really excites me, someone like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I see in like Hannah and others like her, something that I haven't got in myself. That
I think it's probably there. It's just you haven't tapped into. You haven't wanted to tap into it.
Yeah,
and it
fear.
Perhaps comes more naturally. Yeah, fear is
100%.
such a huge thing in stopping us living how we want to live.
Yeah,
it's basically what the episode's about.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I think I'm definitely if this relationship was Peep Show, then I'm definitely the Mark Corrigan.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
pair.
you